What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Welcome to Steelers Almighty. This is the pregame show. Steelers hosting the Buffalo Bills in a pivotal game today. Look, the Steelers got a reprieve. They got a reprieve. The Baltimore Ravens, who had basically tied us, decided that they didn't want to win the division with just a pathetic performance against the Cincinnati Bengals, which has opened a little bit of the window, the door, whatever analogy you want to use. That's opened up for the Steelers. Well, now we got to kick the door open. We got to bust the window out. Whatever you want to say, the Steelers have that opportunity today against the Buffalo Bills that have had the Steelers' number over the last few years. Let's not kid ourselves. The Bills have won 4 of the last 5 meetings, and so it's been a minute since we've beaten them. But there is an opportunity. There flat out is an opportunity. Buffalo is not the team at the beginning of the year or the team that we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year. They're not that. They are not this juggernaut that can't be beat. Now, having said that, the Buffalo Bills are still a very, very good football team. Josh Allen is still a very, very good quarterback. There is no doubt about any of that. But they have holes. And some of their holes are actually where the Pittsburgh Steelers excel. It goes even further. They're without both of their starting tackles today. TJ Watt, Herbig, Highsmith, you got to show up. You just have to show up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We saw it happen last week when Nick Herbig basically got shut down by a third-string offensive tackle for the Chicago Bears. That can't happen today, people. That can't happen today. And somebody else who's got to show up that hasn't really shown up big this year is Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward, you got to do something. Now, I'm not saying Cam Hayward has played bad, ladies and gentlemen. That would be, first of all, that wouldn't be true because that's not the truth. He's played fine. But what I need is for Cam Hayward to play big, stuff the run because the Bills are going to try to run the football at us. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Stuff the run, cause havoc in the pass game. Keanu Benton, you're going to have to come up big because they are going to target you and they're going to run at you. So if you can't come up big and you're just getting double teamed and blown out of there and you can't stand your ground, we're going to have to put Y.A. Black in the game. This game becomes even more difficult because Derek Harmon is not playing in this football game. The Bills are the number 1 rushing attack in the National Football League. They run it. They run it well. We have to be ready. Period. We have to be ready. Linebackers, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson especially, because we can't look. They will get us matched up. Malik Harrison, they will get him matched up on a tight end and a running back, and he just can't cover him. Peyton Wilson has to be the guy. But that means you got to be stout against the run. That in lies the key for today. So appreciate you guys being in here, man. Let's get to some of your all's comments up here. KTB said we need to win this one and move the dang change. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. B-Dot, what's going on, brother? Said Cam Hayward not earning the contract he cried about all training camp. I mean, he was asking for more money. The Steelers held firm. The Steelers made a wise decision because, Cam has not lived up to that up to this point. Just has not happened. Torsha, what's up, Tyrone? Tyrone is in the house. Appreciate everybody being in here. So we just got to win the game. Whatever we need to do. Aaron Rodgers coming back. He has got, his wrist is broken for crying out loud. He probably not going to be under center a whole lot. Probably not taking those type of snaps. Got to be able to protect himself. We're going to see early, but the Steelers have an opportunity because, again, the Bills don't stop the run either, ladies and gentlemen. They don't stop the run. And if you don't stop the run, the Steelers need to take advantage of that. Now, what the Steelers have done lately is that they've run the football and then they've gotten away from it. They have to stay with it. They have to stay with it. And I get it. We run it twice and we get a total of 4 yards. Oh man, so they're stuffing us. No, you have to keep running the football. Even if they stop the run early, stay with it. Stay with it. Don't abandon it. Now, if the game starts to get away from you, that's a different conversation. But if you're still within striking distance, you have to stay with the run. You know, if you're down 7 points or 10 points in the middle of the third quarter, you can still run the football. You have to be able to do that. You can't just abandon the run, especially against a team that is 30th against the run. You have to be able to attack them. So continue to do that. B. Dot says, I hope somebody will tell Arthur Smith the Bills can't stop the run. Hopefully he's just looked at a little bit of tape. Let's just say that. Hopefully just a little bit of tape. But man, that's what we got to do. Jessica says, Gainwell, Warren, and Jonnu all rushing TDs today. I could live without the Jonnu rushing TD. And I'll just put this out there. I could live without the Jonnu running the football for as long as he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. I wouldn't mind if he never touches the football in the running game again. I'll be okay with that. Let the running backs do it. Just let them do it. I'm fine with that. So Jason says, can they finally use Warren? He needs a lot of touches this game. No KG. I wouldn't say no KG because KG was fine last game. He was fine. I wouldn't say no KG. I would just say I want to see more of Warren. I think that's probably the more proper analogy. Let's see more of Jalen Warren, and let's see how he gets that going versus no Kenneth Gainwell. I'm fine with Kenneth Gainwell. I just need to see more Jalen Warren. I need it to be 65-35. That's what I need it to be. 65-35, and I'll be okay. I'll be okay with that. So KTB says, I hope we can just make stops on defense and not hope we can. Someone force a turnover. It's lovely when we do getting our stops more practical than 5 turnovers a game. And that's the difference. Like if the Steelers can get 2, maybe even 3 turnovers, okay, fine. But thinking that we got to get 5 turnovers to win, which we've had to do, that's just not reality. It's just not reality. So, first super chat. He says, with the way from Big Show, with the way this season has gone, we might win this game by 14. Then comes the Seal Tomlin's, a great coach. Don't be fooled. No, we're not going to be fooled at Steelers Almighty, man. We're done with the Tomlin train. We are done with the Tomlin train. So, and I said it last week, right after the game. I said, as mad as I am, this is a game that the Pittsburgh Steelers will win, and we'll be happy. But here's the difference. We can be happy that the Steelers win. The coaches could coach a great football game. All of that can be true, and the Steelers still need to move on. So just keep all of that in mind. Keep all of that in mind. So let's get to the inactives today. For the Steelers, Scotty Miller is out. Will Howard, he's the third quarterback. Darius Slay is inactive today, ladies and gentlemen. Logan Lee and Derek Harmon. Darius Slay, an inactive, which all of that meant, and we saw it earlier, Asante Samuel Jr. has been called up to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Asante Samuel Jr. has a good game today, expect some roster moves to be made. I expect some roster moves to be made. I don't know that means Darius Slay gets cut. Probably not. I wouldn't do that. You don't need to do that. But he can be inactive for this game. And he can be inactive for a couple of games. But Slay doesn't bring you anything in special teams. A couple other guys are going to bring you some stuff in special teams, so you need them on your football team. But I'm just telling you now, if Asante Samuel Jr. can play and he looks okay, stuff will be made. There are going to be some things that happen. Moving on. Broderick Jones, and again, this is just a report, but it appears Broderick Jones' neck injury is more severe, and the report early. Now, again, it's just a report. It's just a rumor. I wouldn't even say it's a report just yet. I think it's more of a rumor. He's already on the injured reserve. They're saying he might miss the rest of the season. Now, here's the thing with that. I guess it's twofold. Is that one, you never want to see anybody get hurt. And while Broderick wasn't having a great year, it was better than last year, but it wasn't great. And it also wasn't a deterrent. How he's been playing wasn't going to be a deterrent for the Steelers going out and saying, no, we need to go get a new left tackle. I don't think that was going to be a deterrent at all. But damn, now he's hurt. If all this is true, if he's hurt and he can't play the rest of the year, well, I mean that's terrible. That's terrible. So, like I said, I don't think there's been a person on the internet that's been harder on Broderick than me, but you never want to see somebody get hurt. Not to mention, you can't be messing around with neck injuries, man. So hopefully it's something that he can come back from. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it's something that he can come back from. But that's why football is tough, because like I want Broderick, I don't want him to be hurt, but that doesn't mean I want him to be my left tackle. Does that make sense? It's like I don't think a sane person is out there screaming, "Oh man, we want Broderick Jones. We want him hurt. We're glad he's hurt." No, sane people don't say that. But in the same breath, you can also say, "Yeah, I don't want him to be hurt, but I just don't want him to be our left tackle." That's okay. That's okay to say. Matter of fact, that's fine to say. So nothing wrong with that at all. But that's where we are currently with the Pittsburgh Steelers with Broderick Jones. Andres Pete is getting the start at left tackle today. That's odd to me. Again, more coaching. Just you're kind of like you're scratching your head, like, huh? Now it isn't anything against Pete. I'm not saying that he can't play, but he's been on the team for a while. How many inactives has he had on game day? Hell, he was inactive last week. I mean, how many inactives has he had? So technically the swing tackle has been Calvin Anderson. Well, now that Broderick is out, you would thought, okay, Calvin Anderson is going to be the guy. Nope, he's not. And so I'm just like, so then why the hell was Andres Pete always inactive? And now that one of our tackles is actually, he gets the start. That just doesn't make sense to me. Whatever. You would think the guy that was better would be the guy that's constantly active every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this guy's better than this guy, we're not going to have the better of the two be inactive. That just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. So, but we'll see. And not Spencer Anderson. If I said Spencer Anderson, Calvin Anderson. Calvin Anderson's the tackle. Spencer Anderson's still not. He's going to be the big boy tight end. So I don't know. It just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense to me. I don't know. and maybe Torsia, it's like we're trying to trick other teams by making the dumbest decisions possible. Yeah, it's like you have these two tackles, and one of them's better than the other one, but the one that's better, we're going to keep him inactive. So in case something happens to one of our tackles in game, we're going to play the worse of the two. Jesus. Whatever. Steeler Lee with the super chat said, hearing Slay is a healthy scratch made me smile. I mean, it didn't make me smile. I mean, I'm glad that the guys that are better are actually playing. James Pierre has proven to be a better football player this year than Darius Slay. And clearly they believe Asante Samuel Jr. is better in the practice stuff that they've seen. So they clearly believe that he's better. We've seen Brandon Echols be better. We know Joey Porter Jr. has been better. So all the guys that are out there, the Steelers are telling you, yeah, these guys are better than him. And now they're made a decision to say, I'm sorry. I know we're paying you $10 million, but you got to go to the bench because we have guys that are better than you. I like it. Didn't make me necessarily smile, but I like it. I like it. So I like it. And yes, Tyrone, we do have to lock TF in. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. We got to lock in. So good question or good statement here. Says Pete was a starter in the past. Yes. Maybe they just him more down to down. I here's my thing is I don't mind Pete starting. I think he is better than Calvin Anderson. I don't know if you all watched, but if you paid attention to anything Calvin Anderson did last week once he got in the game, it was not good. It was not good at all. And that was against a no-name defensive end from the Chicago Bears. So it was not good at all. So I don't blame him. But again, if one guy's better than the other guy, then you have to play the better of the two. That would be my only thing. It's like, come on, guys, what are you doing? That it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. And some say, well, maybe fling in if he has to. Look, I've covered football a long time. You're telling me a guy is better to just come in and playing the whole time? He's just coming in if somebody gets hurt. He's better to come in if somebody gets hurt and finish a game than he would be if he has to start. If that's the case, that guy can't be on your football team, man. That guy just can't be on your football team. I'm sorry. You can't have guys out there that you can't trust to start. He can only come in and play if somebody gets hurt. That's not a guy you can have on your football team, or at least you shouldn't. Let me just say that. At least you shouldn't. So, but it's just what it is. It's just what it is. And I get it. Yeah, Eric is saying it actually does make sense because this is a Tomlin coach team. Hey, man, I get it. So nah, I don't think the Steelers are going to wash their hands of Jones. Here's the thing, and I know everybody wants to compare Kevin Dotson and all that stuff. The difference was you could see that Kevin Dotson was a player. He had multiple flashes. It just wasn't good enough, and the Steelers said, okay, we're done, when in actuality, they just needed to put him in the right position. Now, we could say it's the O-line coach. I don't disagree with you. We've seen Broderick's biggest problem is his effort. That was never Kevin Dotson's problem. Like, effort was never his problem. Broderick's biggest problem is his effort. So if you don't give enough effort, I mean, you could say, well, a coach is supposed to get that out of you. Hey, man, if a coach is beating you with a whip and you still don't give effort, what else is a coach supposed to do? So I get what you're saying. Claude Bishop says, do the fans boo Tomlin today? I mean, I don't know. Should they? Like, there's a time to boo and there's a time not to boo. I think when you're in first place trying to win a football game, you can boo the offense if they do something bad, or you can boo the defense. But if they introduce Mike Tomlin, what would be the point of booing him? Like, but it's a good question, though. It's a damn good question. I just don't. I mean, you're in first place. You're in the middle of trying to win a football game. I just don't know that that's the time. But we as fans, we're crazy, so we'll do anything. So there it is. Josh says, I'd be willing to donate $10 every game along with other fans for tickets to anyone who will chant fire Tomlin. I mean, I don't know what that's going to do. Save your money, brother. Save your money. Hey, Arch Baby Doll. So, but I don't know that they're necessarily going to chant fire Tomlin or boo him. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. At this point, like, you all know my feelings on it, and so I've moved on. I'm never the boo guy, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm never the guy that just boos. if the offense sucks or the defense sucks or whatever, I'm not the guy that yells, boo. I've never been that person. Now, I'll say some things. I'll say some choice things, that you can't really say that I wouldn't say in front of my mother. I'll say those type of things, but I'm never the guy that just booed. I've never been that guy. And I don't begrudge people though. I'm not mad at people. It's kind of like the jersey thing. Like Steeler fans wear jerseys. They wear jerseys. I've never worn a jersey. I'm never going to either. I'm never going to. Unless we still got the bet. If Aaron Rodgers leads the Steelers to a playoff win, I told y'all I would buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey and I would wear it. So that's still out there. That's still out. We didn't start 4-0, so I didn't have to buy one of those ugly throwback jerseys, which I would have. But this is a must-win game, people. This is must-win. To me, I think every game left is must-win. I think every single game left is a must-win situation. Go win the football games. And again, we have an opportunity here. Because if the Steelers win this game and then they go to Baltimore next week and they beat the Ravens, well, the division at that point would pretty much be ours, minus a total collapse, which is possible. But it would pretty much be ours. So that would be my personal thoughts on it. But we'll see. But that's what I got, man. Look, if you are wanting to join the watch party today, make sure you sign up to be a member with the Hall of Fame status. Come on over. We'll be at the watch party. More importantly, 15 minutes after the game, we will be right here discussing each and everything that we saw in this football game that was relevant to either a victory or a loss. So we'll talk about that. So make sure you guys show up. Again, 15 minutes after the game, we will be right here. I'm actually fired up for the game. I'm fired up for the game. As mad and as disappointed as I was last week, I am like, this is an opportunity. And I think we're going to see, I've said it all along, either the Steelers are going to take off and the season is going to take off, or we're going to nosedive. I don't think we're in for a 9-8, 8-9 season. I don't think we're in for that, people. I think we either get to 11 wins or we get to 7. That's what I personally believe. I think either the season takes off or it nosedives. One of the two. One of the two. I think that's what happens. Hopefully, we take off. And if we do, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So, got to stop the run today. Yeah, Josh and good. That's a good point. Got to get after Josh Allen, and you got to stop the run because the Bills can run it. They can run it. So, appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for showing up like you always have. Until later, after the game, good luck. Let's get after it. And aloha.